right, so 6 months ago, we talked a little bit about a potential DLC for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And we were talking about that DLC potentially releasing in 2026. And now there's a new report and new information that basically confirmed this. And at the bare minimum gives it a lot more validity. This seems to be an accurate take. And I think it is insane to actually be receiving a DLC in 2026 for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I mean, mind-boggling. I love The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. You guys know that. It is my number one favorite game of all time. And going back to the game like 2 years ago, back in 2023, and replaying it for the first time ever, I was mind blown again. And I can confidently say that it cemented itself as the best game of all time for me. And the story of Geralt and the world and the lore and the relationship with Ciri, it's so magnificent. Even the love interest of, having Yennefer or Triss. And it's something so beautifully done that it's so hard to ever really top something like that. And even the DLCs were fantastic. Everyone always talks about the Blood and Wine DLC because it takes you to a whole new area and it's so massive and so big that it could be its own little game. So many damn hours that you can put into that. It is insane how good that DLC is. So quite rightly, so many people speak about it. But the first DLC that released was fantastic also. It was a more intimate story. It was a little bit more of a personal story. You felt for Oligar and his wife, and then you felt for his wife when you met her and spending time with them and then dealing with this devil-like creature that can't lose almost. It was really good. So it's not like The Witcher hasn't had these fantastic DLCs coming out. But with some of these reports, some people have speculated and gone as far as to say that this expansion might be as big as Blood and Wine, which if that's the case, we're basically getting a new Witcher game this year. Because that game, you could spend 20, 30 hours on Blood and Wine easily, exploring every fucking nook and cranny. You can do it. So I think we're getting a new Witcher game. Like, this is going to feel like a whole new thing. Now, why is this coming out? Some of you might ask, why are they making a DLC to a decade-old game? Well, if we look back a few years, we finally got that updated version, the new, remastered version of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, basically, for the PS5, for the next generation consoles at the time. And so now we have that. That is updated. We have new graphics. We have a new camera angle. We have better performance. And so now you can bring in a DLC and it's still going to feel modern. It's still going to feel good. It's still going to feel like it holds up. And they want to bridge the story between The Witcher 3, the Witcher trilogy that they made with Geralt, and what's coming in this new trilogy of games that are going to be focused more around Ciri. So this DLC is going to bridge the gap between those two trilogies, and they stated that it's also going to kick off the official marketing campaign for The Witcher 4. That is awesome to hear because they're confident, they know what they're doing. And the fact that they're giving us a DLC for it is insane because they don't necessarily have to do that. I mean, they could just say, well, The Witcher 4 is coming out, drop a cinematic trailer and drop some gameplay and some written lore, and we're good to go. We'll read that, we'll happily cover that, and we're ready. But the fact that they want to make a DLC about it tells me that there's a story interesting enough for them to make. They want to go back to the world. They're anxious to go back there, review some stuff, get some of the fans going again with the lore and understanding of the character, and something might happen there that triggers this new trilogy going on. And also, this new DLC, I am going to assume, is going to have the new Ciri actress. I'm going to assume she might look a little bit different. So maybe this DLC is going to take place years after the ending of Blood and Wine. And we get to see Geralt and Ciri maybe a year or 2 or 3 down the line, 5 years. I don't know how long they're going to do it. And we see an older Ciri. Again, we start seeing how this new Ciri is going to look in game, how she's going to sound, because obviously she's going to have to look a little bit older, and obviously it's not going to be the same actress because I don't think they would bring the old actress for Ciri to do the DLC and then get rid of her. Again, I don't think they would do that. I think they would go ahead and give this new actress, hey, go ahead and start. This is where the fans are going to get to meet you, get to know you, and connect with you a little bit easier, so the transition into the fourth game and the new series doesn't feel as strong. And it might not already. So that's something very, very interesting, and I kind of like that they're doing that. Now, where does all this information really come from? I got it here from Insider Gaming. You guys know we love Insider Gaming, and we cover a lot of the breaking news that they release. They do talk about The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt getting this DLC in 2026 by Fool's Theory. Now, I wasn't super duper familiar with Fool's Theory, and some of you may not be as well. There's so many stuff within the gaming world. We can't keep up with everything, so you don't got to feel like embarrassed for not knowing who they are. But I will give you a very quick recap. Fool's Theory is a collective team of experienced developers. They want their games to be narrative rich and want them to matter. So they are an experienced team. They say that this company was founded in 2015 by a group of specialists who left leading studios and decided to make games somewhere near the Basquiri Mountains. And so they have built a reputation in doing remakes, remasters, and kind of doing their own thing. Some of the stuff that they have worked on are Divinity Original Sin 2, Silent Hill 2. They also have some of the stuff they're working on now, which is The Witcher remake. So they're an experienced studio. They're a studio that they already know what they're doing. They're already kind of enthralled in the world of The Witcher because of The Witcher remake that they're working on. So that's also something that I'm very excited to see. So apparently, all of this information about the DLC basically being confirmed came due to a Polish Noble Securities analyst who provided a release window for the DLC. And he also talked about The Witcher 4, which may come out in late 2027. Now, apparently, somebody at Eurogamer was the one who found out about this information, and they followed up with the original source. That's what is stated here in Insider Gaming. This reads as follows. The Witcher 3's 26 DLC has been verified by several independent sources. And due to how much this has been hinted at, it is more than likely going to release in 2026. Now, I also found the original source, and it's all in Polish, so I was kind of having a difficult time there until I switched it to English Translate. So it's not going to be the most accurate, but we can see a little bit of what was written here. And this comes from the analyst. Now, they go on to confirm here that one of CD Projekt's unannounced works is a DLC for The Witcher 3, which would serve as a bridge between the final installment of the previous trilogy and the new opening saga, simultaneously launching the campaign for The Witcher 4. Now, obviously, we will confirm this here, but this is also going to be a paid expansion. They go ahead and say that they assume that this next paid DLC for The Witcher 3 will be released in May of 2026. They assume that sales of 11 million copies at $30 each, and that is them estimating about how much they're going to make. So basically what we have confirmed here is that The Witcher 3 DLC will release in May of 2026, and it will be priced at $30. That's a pretty big DLC right there if they're charging that much money. And that's kind of like the standard for DLC now. I remember when I was younger, we used to pay $15 for DLC, for like story DLC, and now it's gone up $15 more. I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk's expansion was also $30, so it kind of goes in line with what they're charging over there at CD Projekt Red. But I'm down to pay 30 fucking bucks. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be very wrong, but I think, wasn't Blood and Wine's DLC $15? Like years ago. I could be mistaken, but I think it was, because I think that's what I paid, unless I'm fucking lying. But I'm pretty sure that's what I paid. So yeah, $30, new DLC for the best game of all time. 10 years later, new content. We might get a new map. We might get, some new things to explore, new side missions. Are we going to play as Geralt? Are we going to play as Ciri? Are we going to play as both of them? Like, what does this DLC really mean in a story context, right? I think we'll dive into a little bit more of that in a follow-up video to this, but I just wanted to share the news, let you guys know that it's basically confirmed. What do you think? Let me know.